Well, on 1st September 2024, Nana Kwame Bediako, aka Cheddar, the presidential candidate for the new force, launched his manifesto, which was dubbed the 12 Pillars to Economic Freedom. One of the key things that is attracting netizens on social media is the fact that he's going to scrap many ministries or maybe merge them together and work with only 12 ministers. Well, today we are out here to engage the public, to seek the opinion on this conversation. Your name, please?
Mustafa.
And
Jonas.
okay, now let me start with you, Mustafa. What is your take on this? You think that Nana Kwame Bediako would actually be able to work with these 12 ministries that he intends to do?
Yeah, I think he can be able to work with these 12 ministers he intends to do because some ministries are there, they are not important. So I think when it comes, he should just reduce it so that we won't pay more taxpayers' money for these ministers because you can, like, it's useless. Some ministries are very useless. You don't see what they do in the country. But then at the end of the month, they take their pay, they do this.
Some ministries like
I don't know. We have ministries of railway, ministry of road and highways, ministry of aviation. They can all be grouped under one and do it like ministry of transportation, like the sports and education. We can merge it as one, sports and education, so that it can help us. Because Charlie, the money is too much. Paying these people, the money.
so you think this is feasible, right?
Yeah, it's very feasible. And then normally people comes and they will tell us that we will work with 50 ministers, 50, but then I think it should be less. 12 or to 20 should be okay for us. Cause yeah.
I see. Now let me come to you. What do you think about this too?
Mm-hmm.
Do you think the ministers that he wants to work with would be enough for him to execute what he wants to do with his government, assuming he wins the elections?
To be honest, I've not followed his campaign properly, fully,
Yeah.
but then I've always been of the opinion that the ministers are just too many. So to be honest, 12 is very feasible. Ghana, I don't think Ghana is that big that we should have so many ministers. So yeah, I think we are allocating too much funds into things that are not necessary. The money that we used to pay salaries and things like that for people who are not really working can be used to develop, can be used to, even if you pass Sakumono, the stretch, the road, you see a lot of bad roads there and things like that. But yeah, we have ministers for things like that too as well. So to be honest, I think 12 is enough.
Okay, I also think 12 will be enough because Ghana, we are not that many as compared to other countries. So if he's merging other ministries and stuffs, he can do it.
So you think it's feasible?
Yeah, I think it's.
It's not bad.
Yeah.
It's not bad. Running, let me say that a company, or let me say that an institution,
Yeah.
is not about too many people.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. But the only thing is that the people that you get,
Yeah.
when the ministry that have been given assigned to them, they have their focus and then believing that the tax they've given to me, this is how we should be able to run it.
Yeah.
Probably that ministry, since the person over there who have been assigned that duty know very well that it is a ministry that have assigned to me,
Yeah.
and I am the one controlling over there. Definitely, they will be able to achieve the result that they want.
Okay.
Yes.
So you think that Cheddar will be able to work with 12 ministers in case, that's assuming that he becomes a president. You think he'll be able to work with 12 ministers?
Yeah, you can work with it. Many people would think that it's not easy, but it's about the vision of the person and how you'll be able to organize the ministry that you have been given. That is the most important thing. Because when we look at the Jesus using let me say that the 12
disciples.
let me say the 12 disciples.
Yeah.
What it means is that the whole thing is that they know where they are going.
Yeah.
They know where they are going. So it's about having that vision.
Yeah.
And then organizing yourself well.
Yeah.
The ministry can be there, even though some people can be working under them. But since it's a ministry somebody is minding, yes, still, you can still make it well so that you can be able to help the people?
I don't think it's possible. The reason why I'm saying that is in the kind of where we are right now as Ghana, I don't think he can work with 12 ministers. 12 ministers is really not feasible. When you start making promises like that, people don't even believe you anymore because some of them have come and they've told us all sort of things. I think if we were in a dispensation like maybe Rwanda, it can work because they already have the structures in place. But we don't. We don't. We are still learning a lot of things. So 12 ministers definitely will not work. I really will advise him to stop doing that because I mean, he should be realistic with that so that people would. But if he starts saying 12 ministers right now, we already, me now, I've closed my mind on it. But so, yeah, so I don't think it will work. I don't think it's possible. Yeah.
That reducing the ministers, I don't think it's a new, because you could see that and hear from the incumbent government, the flag bearer is actually also saying same thing. Like when he comes, he reduce the ministers. I think he said to 50, and then the larger opposition party NDC flag bearer also saying that when they come to power, he also reduce the ministers the size to like 50, if sure, to around 50. So if he's also saying that that is his actually his story, he also have to tell us. But as to whether it is in African context, whether it's going to be possible, because we get to understand people, the government that comes has to, in line with family and friends and that kind of thing, to employ people, in order just to employ people, not that, I mean, it is, there's some force somewhere that you must employ. So that is where the problem is coming from. But for he saying it, he's not the only person that is saying it. Most people are saying it, but whether they can be able to implement it.
So do you think it's possible for us to work with just 12 ministers?
It's possible. That is what it's supposed to be. That is what it's supposed to be. But for the fact that we all agree, you can agree with me in the African context, whether which country that is running like ministers as you are saying like 12 in Africa here. So that is what the problem is. But that is an ideal. That is the ideal, yes, supposed to be.
Okay, for me, this is actually not feasible. Looking at the current state of the country, where the country has already been built on, like, we have more than even 50 ministers or so. At least even if you reduce it, it should be a reasonable number that he can work with, but 12 to be difficult. Looking at the administrative activities that is going to take on and the way the system has been set up, actually to be difficult for him.
So he wants to merge some of the ministries. So like some of the ministries, you wouldn't see them, unlike how now you see ministry of this, ministry of that. There's a likelihood that when he comes into power, his ministries are going to be merged. So let me say something like tourism. Under tourism, you have creative arts, you have sports, you have things underneath tourism. Instead of how now, like we just have different ministries for that. Maybe Ministry of Sports, you have Ministry of Tourism, but now everything's going to be merged together. He's merging things together to make sure that something is like, we don't have all those plenty ministries. What do you think about that too?
Okay, that one is not bad though, but we just pray he's able to do that. Because looking at how tedious it's going to be and how cumbersome like it's going to be in the beginning, but probably with time maybe it can work. But currently he needs time. If he wants to do that, definitely he needs to go through a lot of processes and like a whole lot of staffs before he's able to actually merge them into one whole unit and the rest. Yeah. Because there have to be a reduction in the number of, because definitely there's going to be a cut in those working. Yeah. Because he is doing it to save costs. So even though it comes with advantages, definitely we also have to look at the disadvantages. So you can say maybe it will work, or it depends. It's a double-edged sword.
Well, we've heard from people share their opinion on Nana Kwame Bediako's thoughts on working with only 12 ministries, 12 ministers, and what he calls the 12 apostles. Some are of the opinion that, well, it will work. Some are also of the opinion that it wouldn't work. But what do you think? You watching us right now, what do you think about this? Do you think it's feasible? Do you think he could be able to work with only 12 ministries? Reporting for Joy News, I am Jacqueline and Sma Yeboah.